Oh, we didn't get your brush, did we? Let's go get your brush. We need that, don't we? Yeah. Besides, only one person saw that. All right, now we're ready for business here. Yeah, we just got to get Bite to come back. Just you and me, Yvonne. That's right, I am a professional. I know, we got to be careful though, people start talking. Right? Does that make it a threesome? Yeah, things just went off the rails, didn't they? Yeah, even you thought that was a little weird. Morning, Susan. You've come to the right place, Yvonne. Yeah, me too. Get all the loose fur off of you, dude. We're getting into summer here, so we're into shedding season now. Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I forgot to do is open the windows, but it's kind of overcast out today, so I don't know why exactly it's so dark. You got like a pair of windows like behind me on either side of the fireplace, and I forgot to open them, but I don't think that's going to do a lot of good. I mean, let's try. We can try. Like I said, it's really kind of dark and overcast out there today, so I don't think this is going to do a whole lot of good, but we'll try. You're doing a good job keeping them entertained while I'm gone, Bite. That's good. That's what a co-host is supposed to do. You're not supposed to be in my seat. Yeah, so you tried to take over here, turn this into his live stream. No, I don't go to California until Thursday. Beth's wedding is next weekend. So leaving Thursday, we'll try and do a couple of vlogs and stuff like that in Solvang. I don't really want to travel that much. Not in California, and not with the gas prices that are going to be what I know they're going to be. I think they're up to like $7 a gallon there, and so yeah, we're going to just hang around Solvang. That sounds safe anyway. I don't really want to go to LA. Absolutely don't want to go to San Francisco or even Sacramento. So it'll be cool. Yeah, I'm flying and renting a car. Yes, I absolutely got a round trip. There's no way I'm staying there, but I'm going to be there for a couple of days. I'm going on Thursday. I'll come back on Monday. So and so that should leave hopefully a lot of time to go do some vlogging and stuff like that because I only got two things that I really have to do. One of them is the wedding on Saturday, and then there's some sort of event hosted by the groom and his family on Friday night. So I'll be going to both of those. Other than that, I'll basically have a few days to kind of wander around and check out the place. I've been there a few times. I even went there once with Jordan when he vlogged it. Yeah, I don't know if I'll make it down to the beach. That's a bit of ways from Solvang. So yeah, probably not this time. Besides, I suspect I could go down to the beach here in Texas and get the same sights and sounds and smells. Yeah, see, beaches are kind of cool, but the truth is, I grew up 10 miles from the beach and lived there my whole life. And so, it's like Disneyland when you live there and you know, even work there or something like that, you kind of burn yourself out on it. It doesn't quite have the attraction it might to somebody who's lived a long ways away from the ocean. But I might do it sometime. Besides, who needs a beach? We got Island Horizon videos here. That's just as good. Good morning, Gene. And Eric's in the house. And now we got the other Gene here too. Hello, Gene. Yeah, I think I'll probably just continue working a little bit on my new rock table. Got to finish that up. Get that maybe out of the way before I go to California. Got her all just kind of set up right here on sawhorses. So, yeah, that's probably where it'll be initially here for a while until we move on with a long-term plan. But what's the new content, Eric? I did a vlog or two on that, didn't I? Or did I actually show the? Maybe I didn't actually show any of the painting. It's just like painting everything else. You just make sure it's really good and clean before you do it, and then just keep the paint moving. Keep the can moving so you don't get any drips. Just overlap each pass. And I know I've done a couple of vlogs on the cabinets. I don't know if I actually showed myself painting them though. I just kind of talked about it and showed you the before and after. I don't know. Maybe I got to do more action shots, huh? Okay, dude, my arm's getting tired. Plus the fact I got enough fur now for another cat. So we'll just make you a new companion. What do you think? Yeah, I'm off a week now, off of work now until a week from Thursday. Is it Thursday? No, it's Wednesday. Yeah, I got to go back to work a week from Wednesday. So I'm off for the next 10 days. So that'll be nice. It's going to be good. This is really the first vacation I've had this year. Usually I try and do something during maintenance interval at work, but that just didn't work out this year because there were so many things right in the middle. And it wasn't possible to go anywhere. And it's funny, right? A couple months before we were gearing up for this whole maintenance interval, I was talking to the boss. It's like, it'd be really nice. I know you want to do some of these, extensive training days and stuff like that. It'd be nice if we could all get it like on all one side of the interval or the other side of the interval so that those of us that want to take advantage of this time and go on vacation can do something. And he said, yeah, that's a good idea. We'll try and do that. Yeah, it didn't work. It was worse this year than ever because it was like plop, 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 plop right through the middle of, every couple of days there was something. So it just wasn't really a chance to, um, go anywhere and do anything. Hopefully that'll change. I'll have to keep my eye out for gems when I'm down around downtown Waco. I definitely want to at least finish the platform for the rock display case this weekend, and probably even today. Because all I got to do now is I got to put the trim around the edges, uh, do a lot of sanding, and then stain and coat it. It's already massively heavy though. Holy cow! Took a lot of strength to muscle that thing into position. That's something I'd love to do sometime, Yvonne, is go someplace I think where I can find stuff. I keep getting stuff that pops up on my Facebook timeline talking about, places where you can go, hunt your own amethyst or quartz or whatever, and then take home whatever you find. A skateboarding documentary, huh? I think it's ironic that Eric and I have never bumped into each other. Well, like opals especially, they're very very common in Australia. A lot of the opals I have are from Australia. So apparently that's a very common thing. I actually made an appearance in one of his vlogs once. You don't have Darth here to encourage me to give you treats, so I'm gonna have to do it on my own today. That's what you do. That's how you play tricks on your cat. You hold it just out of their reach because you know he's too lazy to just take one step forward and get a little closer. We've never met. That's true. It's a mystery. It's like one of those riddles that you used to get in school to help you develop your critical thinking skills here. You bit that one in half, and half of it went flying. That's the joys of being a cat owner, is to be able to torment your cat. Plus the fact he's got to get a little exercise, and opening and closing his mouth like that has got to burn some calories, right? Then you knock it out of my fingers, huh? Yeah, no, he doesn't drink though. I don't even want to know what tummy farts are. See, the treats are gone, and then off he goes. He'll sleep off his food coma, huh? I don't know if I want to know what a love coma is either. Yeah, usually Silo Screams has a booth at the Comic Con, and so I usually get a free pass for that too. So I usually that's part of the reason why I go and vlog it, is because I can get in there for free. I There was one year that Silo Screams didn't do anything there, and actually John kind of says he regrets that now, because that is good publicity for the haunt. But there was one year he didn't do it, and I had to pay it my own way, and it's like, holy cow! I wasn't aware how much those passes are. So I guess what I get is almost like an exhibitor pass or something like that. I don't know how that's different from a media pass, but no, it was like $5 to get into that thing. In fact, I was joking with a guy who was taking giving the tickets out of the front there, and saying, because I kept having to go in and out to bring my stuff out to the car because I didn't want to carry it around with me. And I said, you really got to give me my $5 back. All the more money I poured into that place. But I got some really fun stuff, and got to know some of the local collectors and enthusiasts. So It was fun. I had a good time. I don't regret going, not for a second. Had a blast. Oh, I go every year, Susan. This is third or fourth time I've gone. Because the first time I went was like 3 years ago, and that's what got me, what reignited my rock collecting phase that I'm currently in. Because I've always loved rocks. I've got rocks that I've had since I was a kid, but it kind of paused for a while, and then, like I said, I was always looking for things to do, and they talked about the Waco Rock and Mineral show one year, and I said, "Oh, I like rocks and minerals. Let's go there." And I've done a few conventions because I've done that herpetology one about reptiles and stuff like that, and I've done the like the Christmas boutique thing and the Lego conventions and stuff like that. And so, the Rock and Mineral collection or the Rock and Mineral show, that just sounded like something that would make perfect sense for me. And you're right, I forgot about the cat show. Yeah, that's right. That was another one. See, I think with the Rock and Mineral show, most of the revenue for the club that hosts it probably comes from commissions that they get, or fees that they charge the exhibitors or the vendors. That sounds like a pretty good deal, Eric. I mean, you're going to be able to start doing that kind of stuff now as you get to know more and more people. Because I mean, that's a public interest thing, and that'll end up on the news. That's how a lot of this stuff starts. You start doing some little freelance stuff like that, and next thing you know, you land a job. May not make a lot of money at the beginning, but you'll gain the experience, and that'll come in very, very, handy once you get a job. I think an interview with Bite would be pretty interesting. Would be pretty boring. I mean, he just walked away from the camera like 10 minutes ago. That's just who he is. Oh, I don't ever have to think about that, Eric. Bite just says, "Why aren't you paying attention to me?" Bite's thinking, "Why aren't you feeding me? Why aren't you petting me? Why aren't you brushing me?" Was it they say dogs have owners, cats have servants? Yeah, that's all I am is a servant that feeds and grooms him. He does that sometimes. I've noticed recently he's been coming out at night and sleeping on the ground right in front of the door. So I'll come in the morning and I'll look in his room. He's not in there. It's like, okay, he's out at the door this morning. Yeah, he definitely does that. Bite likes to pretend he owns me, but he doesn't. Oh, the that's actually a really, really old flag I got from my grandmother. That's actually got only 48 stars on it, and it's made out of silk. And I just wanted to display it on the side of the fridge. That was a good place to have it. I got a couple flags that have, only 48 stars. Yeah, it's been there for a few years. You can go back and watch past live streams and you'll see it. I don't know. I think I hung it up there 2, 3 years ago. Yeah, Adam had his funeral. No, I didn't go. I did. I only met him once, so I mean, it's not like he was a friend, and I guess what he had is an enlarged heart, and I guess that was the cause of death. Well, I'm sure they'll do. Well, I mean, I know they're doing their Fourth of July thing. The band that's supposedly playing this year is the Jacksons. I don't know if that's who's left over from the Jackson Five or whatever, or if it's just another band called the Jacksons. But I don't know if it turns out to be the actual Jackson Five, which I guess would be the Jackson Four now, right? Or are there others that are gone too? I don't know. I I really kind of stopped following them, when they broke up. But I'm sure they'll do something pretty wild. Yeah, without Adam, a lot of us wouldn't be here, myself included. Because Adam was I'd never heard of Adam until Jordan got into him, and Jordan started vlogging because of him, and I started vlogging because of Jordan. So it may be 6 degrees of separation and all, but there is a cause and effect. No Adam, no me. Yeah, I know. Most of you came to me through Jordan, especially those of you who've been with me since the very beginning. It's kind of cool, realizing that I've been doing this for like 7 years now. That's crazy, right? And I guess just about a week ago, we crossed the seventh year of me being in Waco, because it was just like the 10th of May, I think, was when I arrived the first time. A long time, 7 years. It's hard for me to believe too. And so much has happened in that time. Yeah, it's like going down the hill on a roller coaster. The further down the hill you get, the faster you go. You guys have been along for the whole journey too. From me moving away from California to coming here to getting the job to having my parents pass. Watching me, you know, transform this place into my own place here, and yeah, lots happened. Yeah, I guess that's what Einstein meant when he said time is relative. Yeah, I know. A lot of people don't take you out to buy their grave plot, do they? Yeah, yeah. We go on some strange journeys together. But we've done all sorts of fun stuff too. As if going to a cemetery and buying a grave plot wasn't fun. And Matt have commercials on his videos now. So sorry, I don't sponsor whoever that company is. So we'll see if it comes back here. Okay, commercials are over. I do hope that the day they place it, I can be there because I'd love to watch him have to hoist that thing into place because that thing is going to be massive. It's probably going to weigh more than a ton. I don't know if Matt's gotten to the point yet where he can monetize. Oh, now I got a little pop up there trying to encourage me to join YouTube Premium. Well, I think the slab itself is from India, but I think it's being made here, so it's probably already in the country. So we're way past customs. I don't have an exact number, but it's 36 inches wide, 18 inches deep, and 48 inches tall. So it's going to be 4 foot tall. And so, I mean, use your imagination. It's got to be at least a ton, probably several tons. No, it's going to be engraved with everything except for the death date. The death date, obviously, we don't know when that'll be. Might be next week, might be 20 years. That's what I figured, John, is they're going to have a crane to move that thing. That's why I would love to see it get placed, and hopefully when that happens, because the grave, the marker manufacturer, they just know that I'm at Oakwood Cemetery. They don't know where in Oakwood it is, so they'll have to tell me, ask me where it goes when the time comes. And at that point, that'll leave it open to, okay, when are you going to do this? Because I'd love to be there. And I don't think that's an unreasonable request. And the fact that I have weekdays off, makes it easy to do that because they'll probably put it in on a weekday. I would hope that they'll communicate with both of us. I mean, I know that the cemetery has kind of very strict guidelines about what you can use for materials, and the memorial company, they actually ran it past the cemetery. Is this going to be okay? And the guy who runs the cemetery says he loves what I've done, loves my idea. He calls it avant garde. He says he wishes more people would do stuff like that. A lot of people just do a real simple marker. A lot of times it's even flat to the ground, or just a very simple, maybe just this wide, this tall, and I don't know. I knew that this is something I really wanted to get extravagant and go all out on, and so far, what I've heard, I love their concept of it. So, hey, Darth. Yeah, we did. We weren't sure you were coming today, so we did a little treat session earlier, and Fight's going back now to sleep off his food coma. But I'm sure he'll probably be back in a little bit. Well, the cemetery, kind of rejects the idea, or resists the idea of people leaving stuff on grave markers. But you know what? I'm going to do something secret. If you ever do go visit my grave marker, bring a rock. Just has to be a little pebble. It doesn't have to be anything cool. Just something you found, and leave it on the marker. Some people leave coins on at graves or something like that. Yeah, cool rock. That'd be fun. You are invited. And what are they going to do? Dig me up and reprimand me for that? Yeah, you're evicted. You encourage your viewers to leave stuff on your stone. That's against the rules. You're out of here, man. Someday be driving down LaSalle Avenue, and they'll just be coughing in the middle of the street. That'll be me. In my case, I'd be dying to get out. Okay, so we got another commercial now. Holy Holy cow, I hope that means Matt has been able to monetize because I hope he's getting some money out of that. I gonna have to download some of the videos and just play them back on the computer here. Hello, John. Welcome to the group. No, I haven't done the coffin yet. Okay, we're back. That's something I got to do is get that taken care of. There's 4 parts to it. We got 2 of them done. The plot was one, the marker was one. I got to do the coffin, and I got to do the do a will. That's all kind of my end of life planning here. Just getting to an age where I got to think about things like that. Well, I'm glad you're back, Janet. I don't know because I know you don't always get to choose when that happens. You never know what might be the farewell video. No, I'm not going to go all out on a coffin, but I'll get a metal one, um, and we'll go with that. We'll find something kind of moderate. Go for it, Gene. Let's hear what you think. Yeah, I don't know how well a cardboard coffin will hold up under a 2 or 3 ton stone. So no, I'll get a metal one. Oh, you want some? What do you want? I liked having it too, but it was kind of a pain in the neck because you had to drain it periodically and clean it all out. And I ended up repainting the surface multiple times. That was a big work. It'd take like, the whole process would take a week because you had to get the fish out of there first, and then you had to, I tried to save as much of the water, so I had 2 like big trash cans, and I'd pump the water into the trash cans, and then I could, put the same water back in, and then I could, put the same water back in again. But like the whole process took like a week to do. I've thought about what to do about the rock collection, and I've thought, maybe about donating it to the Mayborn Museum. They already have a pretty serious rock collection there, so that would add to it. But when my niece was here a couple of weeks ago from California, she kind of was fascinated with that too. So I don't know, it might have her name attached to it. I don't know. We're still thinking about that. I got to come up with like line items of things that I want to handle specifically. I mean, I guess it would all depend on whether she's got the ability to take custody of such a large collection. Because right now it pretty much dominates my living room, and I don't have enough room for what I have right now. So, we'll see that the GBV stuff. That's going to be another line item. I haven't had the pool now for 2 years, and there's not been a single time in that 2 years where I said, "Gee, it'd be really nice to get into the pool right now." So I think a lot of time, I used the pool because it was there. I'll tell you what I do like. My electricity price is half what it was. I don't know if I'd want to give up that much room in the backyard. I love having a big backyard, and if I put a shed or something back there, I've got a little like garden shed back there, and that's perfect size. Size. It's way in the back of the yard and out of the way. But yeah, I don't think I'd want to put something that big in the yard. Hey, Mark. Yeah, well, that was what the sort of the trigger was. That when I first started draining it, I thought, okay, we're gonna replace it and all that, and it just never. It just by the time I got it out of there and saw how bad it was, it's like this is gonna be building the whole thing up from scratch if I do it. I can't reuse anything that I had. It's all gonna be new, and it's like do I really want to do that? Do I really want to pour that much money into this thing? Do I really get enough out of it? And at the end of the day, the answer was no. And the truth is, I'm looking these days now, and some of the they have like country living stores here that they're designed for people who have ranches and stuff like that, and they got these kind of miniature inflatable pools that you can buy that some of them are pretty big 10, 15, 20 feet in diameter that you could just put up when you want and take down when you didn't need it. So I mean I've thought about something like that. It is nice to be able to get in there and soak at night, but I don't know. I think the pool was built or was installed, I don't know, 2015 or something like that. I'd have to look at the records. I mean, there were two sides to the whole pool debate because there was the tree and then there was the pool, and only one of them was going to be able to survive. And in the end, I decided I liked the tree more than I liked the pool because the tree was right next to the pool, so the tree kept dropping acorns into the pool, and that kept destroying the vacuum in there. So ultimately, that just wasn't going to work. I've thought about a jacuzzi too. That would be smaller and that could easily be put, in some out of the way place in the yard. No, I've never been to any of the Waco Gem and Mineral Club meetings. I know the guy that's the president of the club is aware of who I am because he's good friends with Kara and is always aware of some of the great things that he sees in her shop that end up in my collection. Yeah, there'd be plenty of room in there for a jacuzzi, and the beauty of a jacuzzi is you can cover that up very easily when you're not using it, and if you wanted to, you could easily drain it. See, that was the big problem with the pool. If I could have like easily covered the pool, then that would have been fine. But still, I would have had to replace the wall because that was starting to go out, go bad. And there was going to be one time I was going to kick off the side of that thing, and the wall was going to shatter, and then there was going to be a flood in the backyard. There's a big, long list of things that I was given from the cemetery of things I couldn't put at my grave marker. I didn't see jacuzzi on the list. Can't have barbecues. You can't have, solar lamps and figurines and benches and stuff like that. But they didn't say jacuzzis. I don't know. They might make up a rule just for me, though. I haven't heard anything about RVs either. Actually, that wasn't on the list, but that isn't high on my list of things to get. At the tone, the time will be noon o'clock. Windex. I haven't seen her in a while. I don't know. It's interesting. People kind of come in, come out, and pop back in after a while. Haven't seen Rhonda in a couple of weeks either, but I guess she's just on again, off again with the work. I was just thinking about Matt and his videos, and I was wondering if he actually has monetized. Let's go see if we can figure this out here. I think one of the rules is, or it used to be at least, that you had to have 1,000 subscribers. Where is he? Yes, he's only at 540 subscribers, but he's already got more videos than I do. He's got 2,100 videos. That's crazy. But see, it's sort of an easy vlog to do too, because all you got to do is go to a beach, set up the camera, point it at the ocean, shoot 20 minutes of video. You can turn the camera in a different angle and hit a different shot, do another 20 minutes of video. It's really easy to do. Yeah, same bat time, same bat channel. So it's the nonsense virus then, huh? Well, see, that's why you want to get the alerts. When you subscribe, you get the alerts. And it'll tell you when we're on, just in case you forgot. Well, right now I have it on. I just have it on sawhorses. I got like just a wrapping, like a shipping blanket on top of it because I haven't stained it and I haven't put the acrylic coating on it yet, which will help protect it from the rocks. But yeah, there it is right there. It's been up all week. Yeah, see, I'm not really following this kidnapping case. I expect that she's already deceased. Hello, Michael. Greetings from the company. What company? Oh man, yeah, you have no idea. The lumber that went into that thing was like $400. Even the guy at Home Depot commented, it's like, whoa, that's expensive. And it was just six of the pieces of oak and a piece of oak plywood. Massively expensive. But that's how it works sometimes. I do sign everything I make. There's always a signature somewhere. Yes, yes, everything is signed. Signed and dated usually.
Wow.
That's something I want to do sometime. We have rodeos around here. I've never actually gone to one. In fact, when I went down to Houston, what, a year and a half ago, went and visited Johnson Space Center. Um, I was going to stop for the night to get a hotel about 30 miles out of Houston, because it was getting late at night, and every place I went, they were all booked up. It was like a weeknight, and they were all booked up. And I asked, what's going on? Oh, the rodeo's in town. Sometimes they have them at the fair, the state fair here that we have in. Actually, I guess it's just the county fair that we have here. They have rodeos. One of these days, I got to do that.
Wow.
Oh yeah, if I went to a rodeo, count on the fact I'd vlog it. That just goes without saying. Yeah, I'd fit right in with a cowboy hat, wouldn't I? At the time will be 12:15. Well, eventually it's gonna, at the beginning, no matter what, it's gonna be a new hat. This is why I put the bed sheet on the couch here, is to deal with all the cat fur. It's all covered with cat fur now. They may very well, Yvonne. He's trying to make the decision to jump up here, but he can't quite work up the courage. Come on, man. The couch isn't going to jump up to you. You got to jump up to the couch. That's how it works. That's how it's always worked. Yeah. I figured he'd figure it out eventually. No, he doesn't need stairs. Do you think I need to paint my fence? I don't know. I have considered the fact that I may have to replace it at some point. That wood's getting to be in bad shape, but and I've actually been pricing it out if I need to do that. It would be one of those things I do on my own. So what are we doing now? Coming up with different euphemisms for poop. I see road apple, meadow muffins. I was thinking, it might be fun to, if I did replace the fence to, maybe put look like there's leaves or something on it. Paint leaves on it. Make it look like instead of a wall, make it look like just a hedge or something like that covers everything up. I don't know. The neighbor next door has a tree growing in their yard that's actually beginning to warp the fence a little bit because one of the branches is leaning on it, and so the fence is kind of leaning a little bit because of that. But I could just decorate the thing with some of the road signs and stuff like that look kind of cool outside too. Cover it up instead of paint it. Well, what I've noticed about a lot of this part of the neighborhood is that there's different fence styles depending on what yard you're on. And obviously, I think the fence belongs to me because it's the same all the way around. It's in the front yard, it's on the side, it's in the back. It's the same all the way around. Versus like my neighbors on this side, where they have one sort of fence on the back, and then there's my fence, which is different from theirs. And then on the other side, they don't even have a fence. It's just a shared driveway with their neighbor. Let's see, if I was going to replace the fence, I'd also probably want to like weather seal or water seal the fence pieces before I did it, so it would hopefully last longer. I believe that's the case. I know that was the case in California, that if something hung on your side of the property, you can do whatever you want with it. I'm not going to sit there and begin cutting down my neighbors, because where it would have to be, where the cut would have to be made would be on their side. What I'd probably do more instead is, if I replaced it, I just have the fence kind of go around the branch and have the branch kind of do what it's doing, and then build the fence around it. Plants are doing really good in the front yard. In fact, that's what the cover photo is on the live stream this morning, was that photo here. Let me show you a big version of that. Okay, now we can cut away here. It's really cool that I can do this. This is a picture that was the cover photo. And you can see everything's doing really well. I just thought it was kind of a very, cool picture. I just put the camera right down there in the yard there, and yeah, it looks really cool, I think. I don't know. I didn't really look at that, Susan. Like I said, I would assume that I would assume that since the fence is the same all the way around, that it belongs to me. Yeah, see, that would be a problem. I had a neighbor in California who had a lemon tree that was right up against the wall, and I got some lemons off of that, but only from the ones that were on my side of the fence. And of course, last week the backyard, the garden's doing really well. All of the tomatoes now are up to the top of the trellis, and there's a whole bunch of tomatoes that have started growing just in the last few days. I saw like 3 or 4 of them last week. They're all over the place now, so I'm going to have a very healthy harvest of tomatoes this year. And the jalapenos and the Anaheim peppers are going. I got a bunch of Anaheim peppers that are good 4, 5, 6 inches long out there. I wouldn't have expected they'd be coming so quick. In fact, I harvested a couple of them last week and put them in some chili I made. Now, one of the things I've noticed, the The Anaheim peppers aren't as spicy as I was thinking. And I was actually looking at my heat chart that I have of peppers, and it rates the different types of peppers from on a scale of 1 to 10. With my jalapeno and habanero was being sevens, eights, nines, but these Anaheim peppers are a little more than actually bell peppers. They don't have really a lot of heat to them. Yeah, it's really hard for neighbors here to complain about leaves from other people's trees because everyone has trees that drop leaves, and so my neighbors on both sides have lead end up with leaves in my yard, and my trees end up with leaves in their yard. So it's just a reality you have to deal with. And I think a lot of times, I don't really have a lot of problem with the people here in Texas because people in Texas are just a lot more nice and a lot more considerate. There's certain places, where people just seem to be at each other's throats all the time. Not here. Well, that's it. The silver poles are on my side of the fence, so that would seem to imply that also that they're mine. Yeah, exactly. That's just the reality. You don't want to deal with leaves in your yard. Move to a neighborhood without trees. You know, the trees are thick in this area. That was one of the reasons I really like this area. Actually, they're thick all over Waco, or at least in areas that the houses have been there for a while. I mean, one of the houses I was looking at when I was looking for houses uh, was in a newly developed area, and there weren't any really old, large trees in the area. Not the case here. There's a cheesy emoji for you. Ooh, there's a pepper. That looks like a good one. That's sort of cheesy too, right? Never heard of a tie-dyed fence. Although I got a tie-dyed couch, so what's the difference, right? The cat giving you evil eyes. Already did. My favorite Mexican dish is burritos. I did that a few years ago. I love burritos. They're a pain in the neck to make because there's so much that you got to do for it, but just disapproving, huh? I was doing breakfast burritos for a long time, but kind of gave up for a while. It got a little old. Yeah, I got to the point I got burned out on them for a while because it was like, I'd eat like a couple of them a week, and it's like, what I do is I'd what I do is go buy like breakfast sausage, like ground sausage, and fry that up, like you would ground beef, and then mix in the eggs and bacon and ham and stuff like that, and just kind of cook it all together. And then I just keep it like a container, and I dish it into the microwave and into the burrito tortilla, and a little cheese, a lot of hot sauce, and we're good to go. But yeah, I kind of got burned out on that and haven't done that for a while. They could do better with the food. They are getting better. We got a cafeteria that they built for us, that opened up about 6 months ago. And initially the food we were getting out of there was horrible. It's still not that good, but it has improved. But it's mega expensive and the portions are small. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I'd get any complaints from the neighbors. I'd talk to them ahead of time, let them know I was doing it. There might be an issue with the neighbor directly behind me because they have a dog, so they'd have to work with that. But, you know, I would probably make it so it wouldn't be much of an issue. And if I get to the point where I knew the dog, then, even if the fence was open, for a while and the dog came into my backyard, that wouldn't be the end of the world because the dog couldn't get out of my yard for a while and the dog came into my backyard. That wouldn't be the end of the world because the dog couldn't get out of my yard any more than get out of his own. Well, the cafeteria they built for us is really nice. It's a beautiful place. They did a good job on that. I'm not surprised. I'm not impressed with the food, and they haven't gotten their digital signage worked out either. I can supposedly go to their website and order stuff, uh, for lunch and then go pick it up. But a lot of times the stuff they have on the website isn't what they're serving that day. So I order something and say, "Oh, we don't have that today." Well, I paid for it. Well, we'll give you this. Well, that costs less. So basically, I just paid more for something that I didn't want. So I don't know. I think I'm going to be done with my water today before we end the live stream here. Yeah, yeah, that's what they did. They hired some like national company because it's the same company that used to operate the backstage cafes at Disneyland, and I wasn't really ever impressed with their food either. So I don't know. In the old cafeteria, they just hired a local company that has a restaurant in town and hired them to come in and operate the grill, 5 days a week. So I actually like what they did. It got a little redundant because for a while there, when I first started, the main guy there, he would cook something different every day, and there was what 30 or 40 different things he'd do, and you'd get something different every day, and it was good filling food. There was a lot of it was a good price, good quantity of food. But when they did redid the cafeteria, they got rid of him and brought in this other company, and I don't know. I think the food quality went way down. Well, that's probably what I would do is I would do it in phases because what I would probably do is start with putting getting them weatherproofed, and so get 40 or 50 slats weatherproofed, and then just have to go pop 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 nail them on there, and you're good to go. And it could be done pretty quickly. I haven't used a smoker that much. It hasn't really been uh, something that I've really gotten into. I don't know. I know that's a big thing in Texas and all that, but hasn't been that big of a deal with me. Works good, works good. It's hard work. I'm exhausted at the end of the week, but I'm on vacation now for 10 days. I don't have to go back until a week from Wednesday. So that's going to be nice. I mean, it is called work. It isn't called play. Thank you. Yeah, we'll get some vlogs out of it. I don't know what's going to happen with a live stream next week because I'm going to be in California when that happens. But if there's a good connection, I might try and do a live stream on Sunday. We'll see what happens. I got an email from Beth's father, who it's her wedding that I'm going to in California. Um, and he was doing suggestions of of things I should vlog in Solvang. Problem is there'd be nobody to start the live stream. And it'd be one of those things I'd have to start on Thursday morning when I left and stop on Monday afternoon when I get home. I've never done a live stream that went 5 days, so that would be an interesting one. But I will bring the laptop with me. I always do when I travel. Let's see what's going on here. Actually, it's Beth. She wants to know when I'm arriving. Should be some good times to do some vlogging when I'm there, though, because like I said, I only got two things I got to do. I got something get the wedding obviously on Saturday, and there's like some getting to know the groom thing on Friday night. But other than that, I'm going to be there most of the day on Thursday. I'll have most of the day on Friday, and maybe a little time on Saturday. I'll have Sunday, and then I depart on Monday and come home Monday night. Well, Monday afternoon. I'll probably get home like Monday afternoon. I'll probably get home like Monday about noon, something like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Suddenly, really windy outside. They're talking about maybe the possibility of rain tomorrow, so we'll see what happens there. See if there's anything. Usually when it gets stormy and windy like that, that means that something's going on. And I don't really see anything. There's a little spotty rain down near Houston, but nothing in the area, just wind. No, I'm going to go kind of, I've got an outfit I'm thinking I'm going to wear. I'm not going to wear the one I wore to Jordan's place or Jordan's wedding, but got something else that I think will be kind of cool. I'm not a suit or tie kind of person, so I won't be doing that. Yeah, that would go over well. Go as a furry. Yeah, we'll be canceling that. There will be no party. Bite will not be having any parties while we're gone. So yeah, you might as well not even come because it's not going to happen. Yeah, see, I'm not. There's not going to be any tuxedos. I'm not even going to wear a suit. Just a pair of dress slacks, a nice shirt, depending on the weather. I got a sweater that goes with it. I don't remember who the airline is. Trump didn't offer me a flight, so no, no Trump flight this time. Make me look like Bite. Go dressed as my cat. Is that Beth again? Oh, she's talking about vlogs now too. That's funny. She's suggesting one of the same things her dad suggested. I guess there's something called ostrich land. I don't know what that is. And then she's talking about a trip to a winery. It's like, okay, well, I don't drink wine, so I don't know. No, I'm Solvang is probably what 150 miles or so from where I lived. I don't even want to get down near Los Angeles, so I'll just stay where I am. I'm flying into Santa Barbara Airport, so I do have a layover in LAX, but I don't even have to get off the plane. So No, I probably won't. Well, in terms of the rock platform, I do want to finish that, and I'll probably do that today or tomorrow. Um, in terms of like the kitchen cabinets, no, that I'm not planning at this point to do anything, over the next few days on that. I do need to finish that up. I got maybe 2 or 3 more days worth to get that finished. I really like how it looks, so it looks great. Water's almost gone. I haven't even really looked at the weather in California. See what I'm getting into here. Let's see if we can figure this out here. As for Solvang, and it's Dr. Waco here. That's no good. Helps. Yeah, this thing isn't working. Weather Channel, your website sucks. I'll see you next time, Darth. Thanks for stopping in. I mean, we're winding down anyway. My live streams always start to wind down after about 2 hours. I think everybody gets everything out of their system, and then just kind of naturally slows down. Yeah, Rhonda's probably at work. She's been at work for the past few weeks here, so thanks, Gene. I will. And like I said, there'll be a couple of vlogs out of it. I'm going to bring my laptop and try and edit there. But sometimes the editor on my laptop isn't that reliable. So I may end up just having to save a couple videos until I get back and get them edited here. But there should be a few things. Maybe ostrich land, like Beth was suggesting here. I don't know. I want to just kind of wander around Solvang a little bit and see some of the fun stuff there. It seemed to me like there was a rock and mineral shop too, so might want to check that out. I don't know if I'll buy anything because I don't know how I would get it home, but I don't know. Maybe they ship. We'll see. Guess it depends on what I get and how fragile it is. See you, Yvonne. See you, hopefully next week. If not, the week after that. There you go. It's 1 o'clock, in case anybody was wondering. I don't know. They said no gifts, but I might bring them something kind of fun. We'll see. Yeah, Solvang is north of Los Angeles, about 100 miles. It's kind of by Santa Barbara. Toodaloo, Darth. All right. Well, I've put in the 2 hours today, so I'm going to pull the plug on this one. Uh, Stay tuned. I'm going to do another vlog finishing off the platform this week, maybe today, and then there'll be a couple of Solving videos hopefully coming, and we'll see what happens. So I'll see if I can figure out a way to do a live stream next Sunday. Otherwise, we'll be back the week after that, and we'll go from there. So thanks, everyone. I had a good time today. I'll see you next time. Good night.